I want you to take a moment, close your eyes, and visualize yourself being the best leasing agent in the world. Not just the best that you can be, the greatest in the world, the greatest person to have ever worked in property management. There's not a prospective renter or tenant in the world that you can't lease an apartment to. I want you to think about what you look like, what you're doing, what does your day look like. I want you to visualize yourself showing somebody an apartment right now. You have that vision in your mind? Okay, good. Open your eyes. Be honest with me. In your vision, what were you doing? For most of you, your answer is going to be, wow, I was doing a great job and I was presenting to them and I was showing the apartment and I was getting the lease. And in all of those situations, you were probably doing what? Talking. And I get it. I'm with you. The first thing that we always think about when we think about being successful in property management, when we think about being successful as a leasing agent, is the words coming out of our mouth. But I'm going to tell you right now, what's so much more important than what you say is how you listen. And when I work with leasing teams, when I go out on site and do our Leasing University live training events, one of the first flaws that I usually find is that people have a bad repertoire, a bad system when it comes to listening. For all the right reasons though. They're enthusiastic. They want to make sure that they do the best job that they can for their property. They want to help that renter. But a lot of that energy and enthusiasm turns into them being a bad listener. I want to give you 8 tips right now that you can put into practice today that are going to help you be a better listener. And if you're a better listener, I 100% guarantee you that you're going to be a better property manager and you're going to be a better leasing agent and you are going to get more leases simply by doing a better job of listening to your prospects. But it's not as easy as we think. So let's run through these 8 skill sets that will help you be a better listener. Number 1, I want you to look at the person that you're listening to. Seems like a no-brainer. Lot easier said than done. As we're touring the community, it's very easy for us to be like, as we're opening the door, as we're showing them things. We're never making eye contact and we're never looking at the person that we're listening to. Number 1, we're missing out on 80% of the information coming to us when we don't look at the person that is talking to us. Number 2, 100% of the time, if you're not looking right into their eyes, when they are speaking, they are not going to feel like you are listening to them. So look at the person that you're listening to. Number 2, I want you to focus on their words and their meaning. So many times we just listen and we're waiting for that person to stop talking so that we can get our next point out. And we're not listening to the words and meaning. And what ends up happening is the person is saying something and we're not listening to each individual word and meaning, and we miss the value. We miss the opportunity to sell them. They'll say something like, oh, traffic here in LA is killing me. What are the words and what are the meanings? Traffic in LA is killing me. They are stressed out for their their drive. Perfect opportunity for you to dig in and talk about, where are you living now? What's your drive look like? How much time do you spend in the car? Wow, if you lived here, what would your drive look like? How much better would it be? Listen to the words that they are saying and the meaning, and you are going to have such a better understanding of their current situation and their ideal situation. Everything that they say is going to have meaning. You need to take the time to listen to it. Number 3, this is huge. I want you to limit your distractions. This may mean changing where you're standing. This may mean pulling up a chair and sitting down. This may mean leaning into them. And this is for sure going to mean bringing them to a place where you can have a great dialogue with them. If the leasing office is noisy, if it's busy, if you're a lease up and there's construction going on, be aware of all of these things that are going to be distractions to you as a listener and them as a communicator, and do your best to reposition yourself and put both of you in a place where you can be the best listener that you can be. And it's okay for you to say, hey, Beth, I really want to hear what you have to say, and I'm very, very interested. Do you mind if we step into my office where it's a little bit quieter? Or do you mind if we step outside here? Whatever it is, but put yourself in the best position to listen by limiting those distractions. Number 4, I want you to visualize the situation being described to you. If they say, oh, traffic in LA is killing me, don't take that as, oh, you know what, we all just say traffic is bad. Visualize that situation. Visualize them in the car. If they've got kids, visualize their kids in the car. If they've got sports that they need to take their kids to, do your best to put yourself in your prospect's shoes and visualize that situation. When you do that, all of a sudden the solutions and the value that you have is going to come to you. But if you just let them say something without you putting yourself in their shoes and visualizing that situation, you're not going to get the insights that you would have had you had visualized yourself in that situation that's being described to you. I want you to visualize your response to the solution before responding. Now, this is one that is really hard, but a lot of us don't realize. And your brain is a very fast computer. We think that if time goes by between them saying something and us responding, that we're going to seem stupid. And then it's going to be awkward. And that there's going to be this weird silence. That's all in your head. It is okay when somebody says something for you to go, You know, one idea is, and that was a long pause. I was able to think about a lot during that pause. We are trained, and I don't know where it comes from, but we are trained that the millisecond that somebody stops speaking, we feel like we've got to start speaking. Bah, bah, and it's got to be this give, take, give, take, give, take. Conversation doesn't have to be like that. Take a moment and visualize what you're going to say before you say it. Your words are going to be better. Your response is going to be better. And you're actually going to be a better listener, and they're going to perceive you as a better listener by you taking that pause. It's a win, win, win by you pausing. There is never anything wrong with you just taking a quick second before you respond to them. You're going to find that you're going to have a better answer, and they're going to be much more interested in what you have to say because they can tell that you're really thinking about what you're about to say before you say it. I want you to listen with an open mind. No prejudice here. Have a complete open mind. I don't care what the person in front of you is wearing. I don't care what their attitude is. I don't care how stressed out they are or how much you think what they have to say is wrong. Have an open mind and let them say whatever it is that they want to say. Even if you don't have the right solution for them, even if your only response to their complaint is going to be, I hear you, I'm with you. Have a complete open mind. When you close your mind and think you know everything, that's when you've lost. That's when your career is starting to turn on the downward side. And there's so many leasing agents and leasing consultants out there that have been in the industry for a long time, and they think they know everything. You've got to make an effort, if you're one of those people, to say, you know what, today is a new day. This is a new prospect. Every person in front of me is different. Their hopes, their needs, their wants, their dreams are different than the last person I spoke to. So I'm going to hear them out, and I'm going to hear them out with an open mind. I want you to Listen to the content, not necessarily how it's being delivered. This is huge, huge for property managers, because sometimes somebody will be yelling and put extra emphasis, $1,400 for a 1-bedroom apartment, and you think, oh my goodness, there's no way I'm getting that lease, because they put so much energy and so much emphasis into the way they delivered that. But guess what? It was just a complaint. It meant nothing. They're still going to lease the apartment. Or they may say, gosh, I just really don't think I could put my stuff in that closet. And that could be all the difference in the world. That could be the thing that you have to address, or else it's going to prevent you from getting that lease. So I want you to put very, very less emphasis on how somebody is telling you something and how they're delivering that content to you, and listen to the actual words that they are saying. Each of those words have meaning. Each of those words are things that you need to understand. So don't just put your attention on the things that they say the loudest or with the most emotion. Sometimes it's those little quiet remarks that are the game changers in whether you are going to get that lease or not. I want you to use occasional listening noises like, tell me more about that. Oh my, really? Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible. Oh, you know what? I never thought about it. We have been right next to the park. I never thought that would be so big, being this close to the park. Thank you for telling me that. That's amazing. Tell me more about that. Make sure that you're doing those noises and those small little gestures and comments that show you are a great, great listener. And remember this, a person that has all the answers. And I'm talking to you, my 20-year veterans out there that are like, I know everything. A person that has all the answers usually isn't listening. If you're an expert and you know everything about your market, and you know everything about your competitors, and you know everything about your property, and you have all of the answers, you know what that tells me? That tells me that you are not listening. And that tells me, what value are you bringing to the table here? Because if you're not listening, you're not bringing any value whatsoever. So I want you to challenge yourself. If you've got all the answers, it's probably a good indicator that you're not listening. And a person who interrupts isn't listening, or at the very least isn't a very good listener. Make sure that you allow your prospects to complete every one of their sentences. And this dovetails into another tip, that visualizing what you're going to say before you say it. Not only will that give you an opportunity to have the best possible response and appear that you're really listening, but it also gives your prospect an opportunity to finish what they were saying. So many times we think our prospect is finished talking and we interrupt them, and it doesn't do any of us any good. I hope these tips help you. I hope you'll put them into practice. I hope you will consider all of this with an open mind. If you work in property management, please subscribe to this channel. It's all about you. It's all about helping you get more done, get more leases, be more successful, and take your career to that next level. Check us out over at leasinguniversity.com if you're interested in our training. It's the #1 training for leasing agents in the world. And I want you to call my office if you have any questions or you need anything from me. You can always reach Leasing University at 888-735-7451. My name is Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University. Until the next video, I want you to listen, and I want you to be great, and I want you to get those leases.